All right, good morning, everybody. Day 14. Just opened the shutters. Slept in a bit today. It's after 8. Partly getting over the jet lag, and partly probably because I was watching a really good movie last night. Boy, you know, one thing about the cold, usually it can be really dark walking through here and really cold. You just kind of, one thing about the cold is you just appreciate so much you appreciate your bed and the sheets. And at night when I finish dinner, I just go straight to bed and I work on the computer, but you know, the warmth is just so wonderful. But that's nice actually, walking up to that window across. And then in the morning when you get out, it's tough. You're like, I do not want to leave this space, but leave we must and start the day we must. Super interesting day today. Let me tell you about it. Isn't that nice? Boy, another nice sunrise. This one's sunrise is coming real slow and late. I think maybe it's because it's raining a little bit. So today, very interesting day. We're turning our attention again to leaks. The house has been doing great. There's no leaks upstairs, which is fantastic. And actually, this guy's doing better too. If you notice, it used to be really black. Now it's only just a little bit. So most of that's died off. My repair was a bush league, but it seems to be functioning. So I'm very thankful for that. But we definitely have a leak, and it's a persistent leak. Now the leak looks to be somewhere in this area. Now it is on the other side of the turret. I think I mentioned on a previous video, it's, if I can get my finger in the screen here, where is it? So that's the window right there. And it's about maybe 10 feet, you know, to the left of that window. It's past the turret. It's kind of on the other side of the turret. So my thought is that probably where there's kind of a back ridge and a front ridge, where those two ridges come together, there's definitely a valley, and all the water in the valley kind of comes across here, and then it hits a downspout that angles through the wall to out here. And my guess is that that's what's full, but I just can't get up there myself. So I'm gonna do some investigating. Really excited. The roofers are coming today. We have the guys that did the roof, fixed it last time, and they did a great job. They're coming, and hopefully they're going to clean a chimney and the chaudier, the boiler chimney, and then hopefully they're going to find this leak. And then, best case scenario, I'm really also hoping they can free up the chimney of our main fireplace in the grand salon. Look at the bird going in the house there. Okay, let's start with the presenting problem. Whenever you're trying to figure out a problem, I want you to try to use a little logic. We first noticed the problem when we heard a drip. Right from here, it was dripping directly down into what became this pail. Now, eventually, we had about an inch or so of water, so it was a direct drip, and of course, it was running right over the electrical, which is not great either. Then over time, it seemed to slow down. Now you can see there's still a wet spot here, and that is still wet. So this is half a year later. Now we called, when we had the roofers come up the first time, it seemed to improve considerably. So we thought maybe we had it, but over time, it continues. So where is this water coming from? Okay, so here's that window I was showing you from the outside. There it is. The chimney is not super helpful because the chimneys move around a lot. Like they kind of angle and stuff. And then of course the turret is right here. So we're inside the turret by about 3 or 4 feet. And it's not the only place the water's coming in. If we go out the door and around the corner, we see the little powder room that we have not touched yet. We've just kept closed normally, but we've opened it. And again, you saw here that there's so much water that the roof has come down. So I need to get the ladder out. I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna try to break some of it down and see where the water's coming from. Now there can be options. As far as I can tell, there's 4 ways water could come into the house. There's rain, there's the heating pipes, the chauffage, the boiler, which are what these 2 pipes are. There's regular water, regular water lines, or maybe some kind of condensation kind of thing. There's way too much water for condensation, so we're gonna eliminate that. The reason I don't think it's these pipes is because these have been emptied and drained for, again, a few months, like maybe 4 months, 3 or 4 months they've been emptied and drained, and yet the water continues to run down. So probably not the boiler pipes. And the same thing for the water pipes, like the same thing, because the water has been turned off for, you know, a solid 3 months, and yet I came back and it was still wet. Now the water is on now, but it was wet before I turned it on. So I think it's probably rain. Let's get to the ladder. Let's go, birds. Out you go. Let's go. Let's go. That's right. Out you go. Out you go. I know where you go. Right there is where you go. Oh, you gotta see. Oh, there's a third one. Watch him poop on me. Out you go. Let's go. Time to go. I'm coming up there. I'm coming up. That's right. I'm coming up. I'm gonna scare you. There you went too. Okay. Tell you what, we're gonna fill that thing up. As long as there's not babies up there. Okay, so here we are in the turret. This is, of course, the one that the pigeons keep invading. Bless their hearts. Oh, there's a dead pigeon. Gotta get that out of here. And this is what I'm wondering might be full. This is what I'm wondering might be the problem. Here's the pipe that runs up, runs out here. Open this guy up. Oh, you see there's water coming through it. So it's a pipe and it goes all the way up to the roof, and then it comes down and drains out here. And it occurs to me that if this guy were plugged up high, or at least even so that it backs up, like maybe not even completely plugged, well, obviously the water has to come out, otherwise we have a big pool up there, then perhaps it would back up and run down. So let's go continue exploring. So here, this is about where the water would be coming down, this or the other side. Now this is interesting because for the first time today, that looks like moisture. So maybe, and that is definitely damp. So if it was running down this beam, you know, let's go up there and take a look. And I'd like to not thank the pigeons for caring for my ladder. So I better take this outside and give it a good wash. All right, this is the first time I've been up here. It looks like the pigeons have been up here, and some also. Like always, it's beautiful. The structure is absolutely beautiful. And you can still see leaks, though it's been really good for non-leaking lately. Now, this is cool. Again, there's a hatch to get out. But you can see this is where the old chimney was, the one that fell down. So I think it's fair to say there's gonna be no fireplaces on this side of the house. There was some talk of bees, but I don't see any beehive. Look at the beautiful beams. I just love them. Okay, let's go see if we can find a leak and not fall through their floor. When I was talking about going up here, Leslie's like, you know, why don't you wait until the roofers are almost here, because then if you had an accident, you wouldn't just lie there for days, but somebody could help you. Okay, so this is good. There's an access panel. Maybe we'll get a look. I don't see any water over here. All right, good news. We got out. Boy, look, we just had those tiles fixed and already more gaps. That's normally where we come out. And, you know, honestly, it doesn't look hard to walk down there. I'm just worried that I'll break through that stuff. And again, it's pretty fragile and pretty old, so I don't want to make more holes. Okay, I bet you anything that's our problem. That's exactly the right spot. And you could see it does look plugged. I bet you that's it. The water all runs down there and then it backs up here, and then let's zoom in a little bit. if it pools, then I imagine then the water can run over over top of the edges and then drip down where it's not supposed to. Now the leak is more like over here, because that is the turret right there. Sorry, moving the camera. So the leak seems to be right here. By the way, look, you can tell one of the staves is missing there, or one of the rods. That's trouble. Gotta get that fixed. I love that cupola. I do not want it to fall down. It's a beautiful cupola. See if I can brighten it up for you. Okay, well, that's good news. That's good news that we found that. Though it looks like that will be a recurring problem for sure. Because how can, I mean, all the stuff that falls in here, all the leaves, everything's always going to end up right there. All right, well, the good news is I think that's the problem. And the good news is it's super solvable by those guys. They should be able to hop up there, clear it out, no problem. Yeah, hopefully that's it. It's a nervous day. I'm nervous about this. I'd so badly like it to be fixed. But, you know, you have to just be patient and have faith. And step carefully to get out. Of course, if one of these beams broke or if I fell through, the bottom is just like, I mean, plaster and lathe, so it would not hold me at all. So you have to be real careful. Okay, this is a fun bonus. I'm just looking up here. Looks like there's another nest, but that's the front pediment. The front, like when you're looking at the house, the very, very front left. Looks like that's how, that's the gap that's there. Cool. You know, the worst part is I just cleaned this room out and I thought I had all the pigeons and I thought I blocked off all the holes. And I actually felt super bad because I couldn't shoo the last couple out, and so I closed the window and I thought I'd condemn them to death. But there was another hole, so that's good for them. Bad for the mess, but it's time to go block it up. And that is what a pigeon hole looks like. I thought I had it last time. I blocked that one up. Oh, there's another one. That or they made another one. I hope they're not tearing it apart. I had a nightmare last night. I had purchased a this big house. Leslie and I had purchased this big house, but it was massive. Like it was like a shopping mall size. And I was walking around and finding new problems every day. And it was just, it felt like I went to this one room and it looked like a battleship engine. Like it was just all this mess of pipes and stuff. Didn't know what to do with it. And I was kind of like, and so I was just like, I was trying to fix one thing and then I had to run to the next thing and then you had to run to the next thing. And I mean, you can understand why I had that nightmare. This house is not that big, but it's big enough that there's, you know, there's a considerable number of issues that you have to think about. All right, so I'm waiting till the roofers get here, and I don't know, I've always had a hard time just sitting there waiting, and so I'm trying to listen for the door, but I thought I gotta accomplish something while we're waiting. So I went back to the old bathroom here, and I got the chipper out again. And job number 2, job number 1 was to get all the tiles off, so that went well. Job number 2 has been to make sure it's flat, because again, it's a mosaic, so we can't have like pieces of old grout bumping up. So this is gonna be tricky, because you see that's not, in some of the places the white came off, so we'll have to, I might have to do like a kind of a leveling coat to get it flat first, and then put the tiles and grout on. You see the thin set, thin set I should call it. If you put too much thin set on, that can take away the bumps and the unevenness, but then it also spills through the grout lines. So I also realized that there's no way I could lift that, so I brought 3 pails up here. And so I'm doing some sweeping as well. So, you know, every once in a while you're working in this big empty house, and I have kind of deep thoughts, and I was just walking around. In fact, maybe I'll even walk through the same path as I was going through this process. I was walking down the halls and I was remembering last year when the students were here, and just joy, the joy of people being together, living in community, and eating meals together and talking about life and playing games. And if you've ever worked with young people, you understand what I'm talking about. There's just such a beautiful, again, I'm gonna go back to joie de vivre, you know, and then esprit de corps. I'm using all my French expressions. You know, the spirit of this team who's committed to each other's good, the idea of a community of learning. And you know, at the end of the day, Leslie and I would go to our room and we would just lie down in bed because we were so tired, because, you know, Leslie's cooking all day. She works harder than anybody. And I'm teaching all day, and then I'm running around fixing roofs and stuff. And so by the end of the day, we were exhausted and we weren't able to sometimes play in the games, but we could still lie in bed and hear the joy, like the echoing through the halls of this place. And man, it's beautiful. Like and it's such a foil. It's such a contrast with I want to say the joylessness of the grimness of just being in a big empty chateau and working on tiles and sweeping up dirt and I don't get like, sorry, I get emotional. I'm an emotional guy, but just the contrast of the difficulty of this put against the beauty and the just the absolute joy of the students. It is something. And these halls, they long for the students to come back. So I'm thankful that will come, and I can't wait for spring and summer. Okay, since I'm still waiting for the roofers, I figured I may as well do my big meal at lunch. So we're gonna do a bacon, onion, cheddar cheeseburger. So we got a little bit of cheese, we're making up some hamburgers. Also, we'll have some potatoes. Now, this is enough potatoes probably for 3 meals, but I may as well cook them while the oven's going. You may as well cook them and then put them in the fridge and we'll eat them again. Same thing for this. This will be probably 3 burgers, so 3 meals. I like 3 good-sized burgers. Yeah, I don't want to be all judgy. With our North American kind of taste buds, Canadian American, we just haven't really enjoyed the pre-made hamburgers here. So we always try to mix our own. So I got a little ketchup, a little salt and pepper, and then of course breadcrumbs and raw onions. There's other things to put in there, but that's what I got. Oh, actually an egg. Let's see, let's put some egg in too. Maybe I'll do that. And that makes a burger that we don't mind. Yeah, that's a good meal, eh? Little bacon burger. Again, I'm trying to stay under $100, so I'm still using the same can of peas. Potatoes cheap. Didn't buy buns, just went with the same loaf of bread for $1. And 1 burger and a little bit of lardon and onions. Yum. All right, so I'm just out here doing a little mowing. I don't know what it is about my personality, but when I have someone coming, it just, I just can't. I feel so awkward. And then of course, when you're in a big house, you don't even know when they're here because, you know, it's just huge. So I feel like I have to just sit there watching. So I figured if I come out and mow the lane, then for sure I'll see them when they come in. And good surprise. I had reported earlier that our sign was stolen, to which my wife was greatly dismayed. But, and this is going to be a big surprise for Bess. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to let you see this on the video so you are so filled with joy. Look at this. Hey, it just fell down. The Chateau de la Grifferaie is saved. That's great because we really like this little sign. Isn't that great? Okay, so I'll get that back up there. We'll figure out what happened. But in the meantime, good news, your sign is safe. The Chateau de la Grifferaie. Grifferaie. Okay, super thankful. Our chimney friends, Benoit Benoit, and I'm not sure which is his first name, if it's Benoit Benoit or Benoit Benoit, but a really nice guy. And he came up there and took a quick look, and he did 2 quick fixes. Now, one of the fixes he did was that area I looked at, the big V drain. But also he noted that water hits the cupola and then it runs off, and then there's a little tiny chimney. I don't know if you can see it from here. It's like a small chimney in the background. Yeah, there it is. You can see it. And it runs down, and it's a flat surface, and so the water runs off at the angle, hits the flat surface, and then the flashing had pulled away. So he put some good caulking on that, put it back on, and also cleared out the drain area, and I think we might be in business. Fantastic news. Okay, this day is turning into a good day for surprises. Leslie and I have always been, I mean, we love the Chateau, but we were always kind of bummed that it didn't have like a big stone fence, because you know, a lot of French Chateau have stone fence. And all the leaves are down, and so sure enough, I came out and walked towards the edge of the property up here on the gate, and what do I see? A big, beautiful stone fence. Isn't that great? Now, this is, I think this might be the border between our neighbors and us. They used to have the walled garden, and so this would be the border of the walled garden. It's also possible that this is their land that I'm standing on. I don't know where the line is here, but for now, I'm imagining that we have a big stone fence. Very cool. This is like the secret garden we didn't even know we had. Big. I know we knew we had these big, beautiful trees along the alley on the way in, but there's just kind of a little area here Now, if we were gonna get to be all North American about this, you could probably put a house here. Small little yard. Kind of private too. In and amongst the trees. And then you walk out. Into the open area. You got a bit of a front yard too. And you got a beautiful field in front. There's the roundabout over here. And then of course, Chateau down that way. Beautiful. You know, I'm just trying to take a look at that pediment. Does that look like a human head or a pig's head? At the bottom, what do you think? Can you see it? It looks like a mustache, maybe? Kind of looks like a pig. I don't know, I've never been able to notice that before. It's the light, maybe. Well, it's the end of the day. Sun's going down. It was a good day. Maybe we got the roof fixed. Thank goodness. Also got the tiles cleaned up and a bunch of stuff mowed, all the entryway. By the way, you look at the backyard and you see those trellises. Do you see those trellises in the statue? Just for scale, this is eye level. So eye level, we'll go up to the second one. Yeah, they're at least twice as tall as me, maybe more than that. Isn't that something? Okay, I hope you had a good day. Boy, tomorrow, thanks for watching the video. Tomorrow, we are hunting the wild sanglier. The boys are coming over 10:30 and we're gonna hunt them. Should be quite the video. Tune in.